Welcome back to another episode of Talk with Ada. I'm your host Daisy, and today we are going into the deep end. We are talking about something that is whispered about in church hallways and shouted about on Instagram. We are talking about the Christian BBL. Mm, I know it sounds funny, but it's reality. Now, before you scroll away or get defensive, I want you to take a breath. We live in a world that tells us our value is measured in inches, curves, and likes. We live in a world where the pressure to look like an AI generated filter is so high that even the women of God are feeling the heat. But we have to ask ourselves, when did the good news stop being enough to make us feel good about the skin we are in? Today, I'm speaking to the woman who feels invisible because she doesn't have the standard shape, I mean, in quotes. I'm speaking to the sister who is considering surgery because she's tired of being body shamed. We are reclaiming the truth that our bodies are not projects to be finished, but temples to be honored. God didn't make a mistake when He formed you. Let's talk about why we are chasing a silhouette when we should be chasing the spirit. We often say, my body, my choice. But as believers, we are to remember First Corinthians 6. Our bodies were bought with a price. They are the temple of the Holy Spirit. Think about that. The God who created the galaxies chose your frame as his dwelling place. When he created you, he didn't look at you and say, oh, she needs a little more here and a little less there. He looked at you and said you were very good. I mean, very good. To suggest that God's design was incomplete until a surgeon stepped in is as dangerous as a theological slope. It's an altar we have built to the God of vanity. I mean, let that sink in. Let's be real. The desire for a BBL doesn't usually start in a vacuum. It starts with the sting of body shaming. It starts with a comment from a man who didn't value you or a friend who pointed out your flaws. I mean, it happens in our very daily lives. I can take myself for an example. Whilst I was in secondary school, a lot of persons complained about the hairs I had on my body. And for a very long time, I hated myself for that. What about my lips? Oh my goodness. Somebody said it was so big. It wasn't just somebody. Several persons said that. I hated myself for that too. But it wasn't up until a few years later I got to love myself. And right now I love every single part of me. Because I mean, God Himself said, I am beautiful. I am very okay. There's no part of me that is not amazing. And that's just what you should, you know, incorporate into yourself. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Look at yourself in the mirror. God created you and He said you are perfect. Let that sink in. All right. So it's fueled by the peer pressure of seeing everyone on your feed looking identical. I mean, that's what is happening these days. But sisters, listen to me. Working on your body will never heal a heart that feels not enough. If you don't love the 1.0 version of yourself, the 2.0 version will still feel empty. Peer pressure is a thief. It steals your identity and sells it back to you in the form of a surgical quote. We have to overcome this by renewing our minds. We have to stop looking at influencer A and start looking at the author and finisher of our faith. We cannot ignore the physical reality. The BBL is one of the most dangerous procedures in the world. Women are literally dying for a look that will go out of style in 5 years? Is the risk of an embolism or a life altering complication worth a snatched waist? What's the gain? What's the end point? Beyond the physical, there is a moral decadence creeping into our culture. We are becoming a society obsessed with the external while our internal lives are decaying. As Christians, we have to stop being afraid of being dragged on social media for standing for the truth. I mean, this should actually be another topic for another day. If we don't speak up and say that this obsession with cosmetic perfection is an idol, then we are failing the younger girls who are watching us. We cannot shy away from the truth just to be relatable. My friends, as we wrap up today's episode on Talk with Ada, I want you to do something for me. I want you to look at your hands, your legs, your stomach, every part of you that you've been taught to hate. I want you to realize that those parts of you are miracles. They are the tools God gave you to serve, to love, and to live. You are not a trend. You are not a before and after photo. You are a masterpiece designed by the hand of the Almighty. Don't let the noise of the world drown out the whisper of your Father saying, "You are beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you." Song of Solomon 4 verse 7. It's time we stop apologizing for our natural frames and start apologizing to the Holy Spirit for how we've treated His temple. You are enough, not because of what you've added or talked, but because of who is inside of you. Well, thank you for joining me at Daisy on Talk with Ada today. Go out there and walk with your head high, knowing you were fearfully and wonderfully made. I'll see you in the next one. God bless you.